Oh my god, geese! They're going. Bye, geese. Bye, geese! You hear them? There they go. Ow! There they go. Oh man, that hurt. I can hear them. They're so cute. I could really see them. They went right above my house. They went right above my house. I saw the whole Congo line. I'm happy to hear the house pass. Oh my god, we were very worried about it. We really would have had to move. Like, if we had to get a new policy, like a modern policy, no. We wouldn't be able to live here. We got very lucky. That was like one of their selling points of the house was like, hey, we can grandfather you into a really good rate. And it's like, okay, all right. Hi, Carter. Hi, Alex. Thank you, James. They were loud AF, my babies. Bye, geese. I love geese. I think they're so cool. I think any migratory bird is like so cool. Like, what do you mean you just like fly down to Florida? That's so sick. Hi, Des. Oh yeah, we're in the other world, remember? Alright, I'm gonna get myself situated here. Oh yeah, worm. Mm? I haven't really found any. Oh my god, that scared me. Thank you, James. There were no legs in here, right? Like I checked. I don't know. I feel like that might be James.
Newfound understanding. If there's any wisdom to be had in all that happened, I suppose that's for you to learn. And I hope you will.
Austin says, dang, I missed the reveal. Austin, I have been saying since 1 hour into this game that James is a pervert and probably a murderer. Like, the signs were there. Ew, how old are these graham crackers? They taste like plastic. Damn it! They can't be that old. I just got them for Girl Scouts. Why do they taste like that? That's insane. Why do they taste like that? Anyways, let me get some kelp. Got it. What is up with those? I guess I'm throwing it out. What a waste. I don't want to poison the animals. Like, there's something wrong with those. It tastes like chemicals. Maybe I just haven't had graham crackers in a while. I don't know. to go brush my teeth. What is that? Does anyone know why graham crackers would taste like chemical? Like it tastes like I put acetone in my mouth. I'm not exaggerating. That's really what it tastes like. What the hell? Treats? Treats? Alright. I'm gonna go brush my teeth real quick, because what the hell was that? And I guess I'm throwing these out. I'm definitely never eating graham crackers again. What the hell? It's uncontaminated or something? That's not good. I don't know what the deal was. I'm glad I took a small bite. Okay. Ooh! Ooh! Mm-hmm. Freeze! Spread them. Hi, Lily. Why does the glitch make him bald the whole game? Because I polled everyone and we agreed to keep the game open. I love graham crackers too, Mars. Ooh. What the hell? Are those cigarettes? Can someone answer me just yes or no? Are those cigarettes? They look like it. What else would they be, right? That's what it looks like. Smoke them? Absolutely not. Actually, James is a bad person. Let's kill him with cigarettes. Let's give him a black lung. Oh no, we move super slow and I can't dodge. No, we move as slow as Joel Miller now. No. Is the basement of the hotel where he killed her? Treats. I sent you a pic of my garden beds with the pine cocoa corn. Oh, hell yeah! Very proud of you, Mars. It's very exciting. Once you start, at least for me, once I started, I couldn't stop. Like, I could not stop growing things. Legs. No legs. How old is this? Couple years. The original, I think, was 2003. And then the remake was, what, 2022? Yes! Uh-oh. Why are they loading me up? Why are they loading me up with the heavy stuff? James, what are we fighting? Alright. We're kinda good on ammo. We're kinda good. I guess I'll try to use the handgun as much as I can. Treats. He runs good for a minute in the water. Dang it. Why is it on fire? Oh, inside. Angela? Whoa.
Mama? Mama! I was looking for you. You're the only one left. Maybe then I can finally rest. Mama.
I think Silent Hell is purgatory. That's kind of some good evidence there.
What's wrong? Wait. You're not my mama.
She's like, God damn it, it's just bald ass James.
It's you.
I'm sorry, Angela. I think you were right. What we're looking for is not here. Not anymore.
Nope.
Thank you for helping me earlier. But I wish you hadn't.
Period. Period. Mind your business.
Even Mama said it. I deserve what happened.
Okay, that's
No,
not what I meant. I
Angela,
meant she should have handled it
that's
herself.
not true.
Don't pity me. I'm not worth it. Or maybe you think you can save me?
Oh, what am I eating? It's just a granola bar. It's not a protein bar or anything, it's just a granola.
Will you love me? Care
She's eating
for me?
something that's not checks, because I don't have any checks right now. or else it
Heal
would be
all my pain?
No, he's gonna murder you like he murders everyone else.
That's what I thought. James. Give me back the knife.
He's gonna say no. You piece of shit!
No, I won't.
You piece of shit!
Saving it for yourself.
Yup. Loser! Loser!
Have it your way. It doesn't change anything.
I would like strawberry toast crunch. I just asked Richter to pick it up for me if he can.
It's hot as hell in here.
Yeah, probably because it's hell. Or purgatory.
You see it too? For me, it's always like this.
It wouldn't make sense why Angela, who just defended her... Wait. It wouldn't make sense why Angela, if she killed her father, would be in hell if this is hell. That doesn't make sense to me. But maybe that's what the guillotine had to do with, right? Like, pick the one person who was wrongly sent here. Maybe that was Angela, because remember I said self-defense? I don't know. Anyways. Wait, where'd that body go? I want to look at it. Okay. I'll go fuck myself. But Bahamas is also hot. Well, it is not hell or purgatory. Nothing makes sense here. Listen. You know how I know that this isn't reality? Because of the way Maria acts. That's how I knew. An hour into the whole game, I'm like, no woman acts like that. This is in his mind. And then we met the other people. And I'm like, okay, well, if he has nothing to do with them, either he killed them himself or they're all in purgatory at the same time. Those are the theories. There's a lot of theories, but those are the main ones. The Bahamas are so underrated, by the way. The people there are cool, but like... well, hold on. I guess that's not true. I grew up on the beach. Like, I grew up in a beach town, so the Bahamas was like my backyard for me. I'm like, this is nothing I haven't seen before. Except maybe some different fish. What the hell? But she's still eating. Hold on a second. What does this represent? Is he starting to see women as human, finally, maybe? Or is he still just, like, a sexist piece of shit? Maybe that's what... Let's be respectful. Maybe that's what the beating heart head is. I don't know. Would be cool. Would be cool if he wasn't a raging misogynist anymore. But feel like that's wishful thinking with this guy. Considering 30 minutes into the game, I was like, oh, he's sexist. 312. Got my snacks ready. Hi, Juan! No one's returning. Oh, good thing I flip everything. Oh, are all of them dying right now? Oh my god, wait, I think all of these monsters are dying. I shouldn't have done that. Now I feel bad.
Oh my god!
Okay, let's watch this again. Where is it? Oh, honey. Oh, honey. I feel bad for them. I still think it represents women. That hasn't changed. It's just like, I don't know, maybe his view of women is... Because remember I've been saying maybe we're seeing the game through James-colored glasses. Like, maybe his... Hopefully, I mean, he's still a murderer and a piece Maybe his view's changing. Maybe that's why they're crumbling. I don't know. Oh. Oh, no. Do they have their... It has... Its pants are ripped open. Why have I never noticed that? Empathy for the monsters. That's why you're the goat. I've always had empathy for them. So legs, in particular, I've always said, I imagine legs are just women. But with the James colored glasses on, because he only sees women as sexual objects, instead of like legs and then a torso and everything else, he just sees legs and vagina and then a second set of legs and vagina. That's how I interpret it. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm leaving this one. I feel bad for her. Oh, honey. I guess I'm leaving her. Should I take her out? Oh, I don't know what to do. Should I leave her? Or should I kill her? Why do you think James killed Mary? Because he's psychotic. I don't know. I think James killed Mary because he hates women. Maybe if he kissed a man, he wouldn't have to murder women. Maybe if he would just... I feel like a lot of his problems might be solved if he just downloaded Grindr. I don't know. Who knows? Ol' Yeller? Should we Ol' Yeller? Should we Ol' Yeller her? I could do a poll. I could do a poll. We'll do a poll on TikTok. How do I do this? There it is. Hello? Okay, I guess we're not doing a poll. Oh, yeah, we are. Okay, quick poll. Oh, hold on. I don't want a quick poll. That's stupid. Custom poll. Standard. 3 minutes. Create new. What to do to legs. Ol' Yeller, which is a sympathy killing. Okay, there you go. Here's your poll. What the hell is what the hell is that? That's not the poll I want. Hold on. There we go. What to do with legs. Oh, it's under review. That's why I couldn't do it, because it's probably because I put Ol' Yeller. All right. Do you guys want to I guess just say it in chat. Should we leave her or Ol' Yeller? Quickly. I don't want her to suffer. My vote is no. Leave her. Okay. Take her to a farm upstate. Yeah, should I take her to the bunny farm? What's the dude's name with the bunnies in Of Mice and Men? There's Lenny, and then there's someone else where he goes to the farm up in the sky with the bunnies. Leave. Okay, we're leaving her. All right, no mercy killings. George, yeah, that was the one. You're going to the farm in the sky, George, with the bunnies. I never noticed that eggs have butt cheeks like that. Or is this new? Hold on, I have a yes or no question. Have the legs always had their shorts ripped open, like in between, and have they always had butt cracks, like butt cheeks like that? Maybe the butt cheeks. I don't know about the crotches though. Have the clams always been ripped open? I think some of them are different. Well, I know that, right? Like, these are the legs that stand, and the other ones are the legs that crawl. I just didn't... I never noticed. Maybe the ones that crawl, they're all ripped open. No. Yeah, that's really hard for me. Like, if I've had like, what did we have at one point? We had some sort of creature. I don't know if it had been run over by something, or like if it was a bug that like half of it was squished, but I had to have, I think it was a bug, half of it was squished, like it would not survive. I had to have Richter Mercy kill it because I'm like, I physically can't. Okay. He's not looking. He's not looking anymore. He's not looking in the camera. Look at me! He's not looking into the camera anymore. Where is this? Otherworld. Multi-save. That 100%, he always looks at, I know it for a fact. He always looks in the camera. He always looks in the camera. That's the first time he's ever not looked. You sound like you work at the morgue? Me? I would work at the morgue. I'm fine with death. I'm only fine with death because I have friends who are ghosts, and I've like talked, like one of my old friends who died, like in real life friends who died. Like I've talked to her about like where she was at when she died. Like after she died. Like I feel very comfortable with death. Otherworld multi-save. James looking away. Why? Yeah, the other world is like crumbling. I ripped my sponge hole. Why do you think he's looking away? It can't be because of Mary, because we saved after Mary and he was still looking at us. Now he won't look at us and the monsters are crumbling. Now he won't look at us and the monsters are crumbling. Maybe it does have to, I still think the monsters are changing because his view of women is changing. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's why he can't look at us. Because he realized he was wrong. Is he taking accountability? I don't know. Like, is he starting to realize, like, oh, I'm a piece of shit? Because when we saved right after Mary, like, that shit was fresh. But that now we've interacted with Angela. And she's like, you're a piece of shit. He's interacted with Laura now. She's like, you're a piece of shit. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm very excited to find out all this stuff. Okay, James looking away. And then can't, so we write these things down because we watch a lore video afterwards that explains it all to us, and I like to see how much stuff I knew. Or how much stuff I picked up on, I should say.
Oh my God!
Anyway, it can't look at us because maybe becoming self-aware. It's like Bunny the dog. James is becoming self-aware. Why dog? Why man? Why? Okay, becoming self-aware. Does he need Prozac? I've been on Prozac for like, I don't know, 17 years. That's not true. 21 years. I've been on Prozac for 21 years. That's crazy. Maybe becoming self-aware. Monsters. Also crumbling equals view on women changing. Or it's either his view on women changing or he just hates women so much that they just die without him attacking them. I love Bunny the dog. I have been watching Bunny since like the beginning. Like since she had like under 100,000 followers. maybe even under 50K. I don't follow her or anything, but I do look her up really often. I felt so bad, dude. When she started looking in the mirror and being like, hey, why do I look different from my mom? Why is Bunny a dog? Why my dog? Why my dog? Why my dog? And then her mom had to take the mirror away and put her on Prozac.
James!
Leave her alone. Leave us both the hell alone.
Is that Pyramid Head? Wish it were me. Maria, you're living my dream, babe. Living my dream, babe. That hair is incredible. Shut up, James. Shut up. Good, cry about it. That hair is incredible. I quit game animation in college because of hair. Spark. Alright, is this his judgment? Maybe Pyramid Head really is his judgment.
I know what you are.
Oh my god! Are we gonna find out?
I know why I needed you.
Or is it guilt? I have been okay, so hold on really quick. I've been saying the whole game I think Pyramid Head is guilt or judgment or like I forget what the third one was. There was no I wrote it down, but I'm not gonna do it right now.
All over now. I don't need you anymore.
Accountability was the other one. Oh, I also thought maybe Pyramid Head was the manifestation of his sins. Oh, hello? Is this the last fight? they look like? That was so cool. That's so sick. That's so cool. Why are there two of them? Maybe because he's like self-aware now. Now there's two. He finally confronted Apple. Oh, it's an egg. That was so sick. Venmo, let me see. Ooh, a word of the day. I don't know how close we are to the end. So for us, like, obviously I'm gonna try to do it. Thank you so much, Shiv. I just don't know if that was like the final fight or not. What do you want to play next? Probably a Resident Evil or Silent Hill. Or a randomizer. Is this the same room no matter? Okay.
What do you want, James?
Is that
Flowers? I don't want any damn flowers. Just go home already. Look at me. I'm disgusting. Between the disease and the drugs, I look like a monster.
Oh, felt that.
Well, what are you looking at?
Dude, I've never felt uglier than when
Get the
I
hell
was
out of
so
here.
sick.
Leave me alone already. I'm no use to anyone. I'll be dead soon anyway. It'd be easier if they just killed me.
Which is better, Resident Evil or Silent Hill? They're completely different. If Resident Evil had the same puzzles as Silent Hill, I would say Silent Hill's more my style because there's Easter eggs everywhere. Resident Evil is really fun and I really love it. But it doesn't have like this deep of symbolism and storytelling and such. It's just like a hot twink. It's just like a twink twanking around.
But I
Yes,
guess
we
the
do have a
hospitals
word of
make
the day.
nice profit off of me. Why are you still here? I told you to go. Are you deaf? Don't come back.
All right, bye.
James. Wait.
What do you want, woman?
Don't go. Don't leave me alone.
Okay. Whoa, nice. Look at this. Shape forces the mind. Okay, so that's the last photo, and interesting. I'm assuming that this is our save. This is what we've been saving to the whole time, and that's why. Remember, I was asking, I'm like, why is he like looking into this thing like a mirror though? Now it makes sense because it's a camera. Okay, great, perfect. That makes sense. Am I supposed to be going down here? No. How far into the game are you? I just fought Double Pyramid Head. Oh, Mau Mau. I love you, Mau Mau. I kind of want to go back and fight them on, like, hard, though. Should I go back? Should I go back? Would you want to do a new game plus on this? Do they give me a harder difficulty on the puzzles if I do a new game plus? New Game Plus is hilarious. Is it actually? It's different. If it's different, then yeah, I would. It's the same thing as like Resident Evil 4. Like there's very few games that I would want to play again. I would want to play this again. I would want to play Resident Evil 4 again. I would want to play Red Dead Redemption again. They give you a new ending, then yeah, I would want to play it again. Should I go fight them again? I kind of want to go fight them again on like hard. I'm gonna put a poll up for you guys on TikTok, and we'll do whatever you guys say. So we have yes or no, fight the pyramids again. If you don't know where the poll will be, it'll be up here. I'm putting it up right now. Ready? You have 3 minutes to vote. Really, you only have, like, I don't know, 30 seconds to vote. You have to, like, vote right now. I'll give you, like, a minute. I'll give you a minute. I don't want to sit here. I don't want to sit here and fart around. Damn, it's neck and neck. I don't see it. It should be a little blue icon. It looks like a clipboard. It's very small. It looks like a very small blue clipboard. It's somewhere around here. And you have to click the clipboard to bring up the poll. Hi, Donnie.
Hi, Connie. Hi, Toby. Bubbles up.
No. Damn it. It's next to your face. Okay, the blue clipboard is right next to my face somewhere. I can't see what you guys see. But I do know that it's up here. It's like a blue and white clipboard. I just felt like the fight was so short. Top left above her head. Up here. Up here. It's a blue and white keyboard. Clipboard, sorry. You can only see it when not typing. Thank you, Sean. Damn. Alright, let's do it again just for fun. It's close enough. Yes, one, barely. But a lot of people said Ginger's Choice. I would like to do it again. I think that'll be fun. Oh, well, hold on. Okay.
Are you counting Twitch votes?
Yeah, I took them into consideration. there was a lot of votes that TikTok didn't submit because they said Ginger's choice. So it was close.
Oh yeah, you guys got me, Toby, and Blah Blah. Hi everyone.
Were you able to see the cereal in either of them or
No,
no?
I tried freaking calling you. They didn't have any checks. And no strawberry CT crunch.
That's okay. Okay, let's watch.
Yeah, you have to fucking see that shit.
Leave her alone. Leave us both the hell alone.
I hate this dude. These two are so cool. I really want to see what they're like on the hardest level. I finally got my confirmation that he killed Mary. I knew it the whole time. I knew the whole entire game that this guy was a sexist piece of shit. The whole game. And Twitch even poked fun of me. They're like, this is just Ginger's like deep distrust for men. And I argued, I don't dislike men. I do distrust them if I don't know them. But we have to do that to stay safe, right? He doesn't count, obviously. You guys don't count, obviously. I'm talking about in real life. Strange men are scary. But it did make me second guess it when Twitch was like, Ginger doesn't trust men. I'm like, no, I really think this guy's bad.
I don't need you.
Yes, Mars, I have. I'm like halfway through F now. Silent Hill F.
How's F compared to this?
Definitely.
I love the ending ton when they lift up their things at the same time.
Very good puzzles in F.
Oh, I would love that freaking. I live for puzzles.
It's deep puzzles. I think you
Whoops.
Kit Kat, I'm still like at the start. I've gone back to
Oops, sorry, James. Oops, sorry, James. Oh, they're so much faster. Sorry. He's dead. Oh no! No! Yeah, that was much more of a challenge. That was so much fun. Alright, let's do it again. Maybe I'll use my rifle. I have a lot of rifle ammo. Yeah, they're much faster. Much faster. Alright! Hold on! Got me. Oh, I turned my freaking flashlight off by accident. Oh my god, I turned all my shit off by accident. Move, James. Oh my god, the rifle's so slow. Holy shit! I'm changing. Oh, they got me! Oh, they got me! Oh! James, run! Oh shit, James! Why would you do that? James! They're so mad. Load. Alright, come on. James, we're stuck. James! James! Oh, I'm stuck! They're so friggin' fast. They're so friggin' fast. Slow. Reload. I did it! Second try. Thanks. Oh, wait, I'm at... Okay, cool. Good job, thank you. I was on the edge of my barbecue skewer. Leave my boyfriends alone. Okay. Oh, okay. Can I keep the other egg or no? No. Wait.
What do you want, James?
Did your husband get past the boss in Metroid? Yeah, he did. Metroid a couple days ago. He beat it.
I don't want any dead flowers. Just go home already.
Okay.
Look at me. I'm disgusting. Between the disease and the drugs, I look like a monster. Well, what are you looking at? Get the hell out of here. Leave me alone already.
Turns up the difficulty, gets mad at James.
I'm used to
Listen!
I'll be dead
That
soon
wasn't
anyway.
me making him flounder around. Friggin' flipping and flopping all over the
It'd
place.
be easier if they just killed me.
It's him. It's not me.
But I guess the
Not
hospital's
me.
making a nice profit off of me. Why are you still here?
Alright, could
I
you
told
run,
you to
please?
go.
I totally didn't
Are
panic.
you deaf? Don't come back. James. Wait.
Ooh.
Please.
Am I having deja vu? Yeah, we've never done this before. It's the first time.
Don't leave me alone. I didn't mean what I said. Please.
Oh, oh, oh. She's such a bad woman. Tells him to leave and then says, wait, no, please, the literal man who killed me, please come back. Like, I've been there, babe. Been there, babe. I mean, I didn't get killed, but you know what I mean. This is always one business week long. It's like the never-ending stairwell. Maybe that's the point that we went into hell. I don't know. How do you rate the game? I don't know. I'm not done yet. Am I? Maybe I am. I don't know. I'll tell you at the end. As of right now, like, I don't, a 9. Ooh, word of the day, flounder. Yes, it is. You got it. Are we tied now? Damn. Damn. That was close. I wasn't sure about that one. Under the sea. I like Shivy's word. They could go, Shiv's words could go either way. They're like very down the middle. Like it's a word that someone would reasonably say, but they're also weird words that people wouldn't use in everyday language. You know what I mean? When do the scores reset? When we start a new game. So I don't know how close we are to the game, to the end. It'll solve.
Mary? I have missed you so much.
I've missed you too.
Yeah, he's finally passed over.
can-
Alright, this makes sense. I can't wait to watch a lore video. Because remember I was saying, like, he has to confront Pyramid Head before he moves on, potentially, if this is, like, before the afterlife. Like, if this is, what's it called, purgatory. He finally confronted whatever Pyramid Head represents, like, and now we get to move on, and that's why Mary's here.
And we be together. Forever.
No.
Good for you. Bare minimum.
James. Honey. What's wrong?
I'm sorry. I know you tried,
James, please.
but she's gone. I know that now,
Stop it.
and I can't just keep pretending.
Shut up! What do you want? Do you even know me? I'm yours.
I'm here for you. So what if I'm not her? I can give you what she never could.
A baby.
I can be better than her. What else do you want me to be? What else can I be?
Maybe he met Maria instead of him cheating on Mary. Maybe he met Maria after Mary died because she looks so similar. That's why he slept with her and then got her pregnant and then killed her.
I am so sorry, Maria. I really am. But this has to stop. It's time to let it go.
No, I think he cheated. Because there were so many riddles about, like, the fish being lured by the bait or whatever.
No.
What?
I won't let you do this to me.
Is she the last boss?
I won't let you go.
Please, that would be so cool.
I can't!
That's so cool. Yes! Right, hold on. Jesus. She's gonna whoop my ass.
Jane.
Mary.
Hey, handsome.
That was so much fun. I love a 3-part boss.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. I told you. I wanted the pain to end.
Oh, she asked him to kill her?
Yeah,
Still, murderer.
you did. But that's
still
not
think he
why I
cheated.
did it. The truth is, I hated you.
I told you, if he had just downloaded Grindr and kissed a man like he wants to, he wouldn't have had to kill these women.
I wanted you out of the way. I wanted my life back.
If that's true, then why do you look so sad?
Shut up, Mary. Cool motive, still murder.
It's okay, James. Here.
What is this?
It's what you've been looking for.
Can you guys tell me which ending this is after it's over so that when I look up a lore video, I can be sure we get the right one? Is Laura Maria as a child, maybe? I don't know. Oh, the game tells you when the result's perfect. Thank you.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday. But you never did. Well, I'm alone there now. In our special place. Waiting for you to come and see me. But you never do. So, I wait, wrapped in my cocoon of pain and loneliness. I know I've done a terrible thing to you. I wish I could change that, but I can't. I feel so pathetic and ugly laying here. Every day I stare up at the cracks in the ceiling, and all I can think about is how unfair it is. The doctor came today. Told me I could go home for a short stay. It's not that I'm getting better. It's just that this could be my last chance. Even so, I'm glad to be coming home.
That's the script
I
clerk.
missed you so much. But I I'm afraid, James. I'm afraid you don't really want me to come home. Every time you come to see me, I can tell how hard it is on you. I don't know if you hate me or pity me. Maybe I just disgust you. I'm so sorry. When I first learned I was gonna die, I couldn't accept it. I was so angry. I struck out at everyone I loved. Especially you. And that's why I understand if you hate me. But I want you to know, I will always love you. Even though our life together had to end like this, I still wouldn't trade it for the world. Well, this letter has gone on too long, so I'll say goodbye. I told the nurse to give this to you after I'm gone. Which means that as you're reading this, I'm already dead. But that's okay. I'm not afraid of it anymore. I just hope the pain will end soon, so that you remember me for who I was, and not what the disease made me. I want you to go on.
Thank you,
I
Rachel.
want you to live for yourself and for others, like you did for me. James, you made me happy.
Get away from that child. Somebody get James away from this child. Yes, we'll be watching a lore video if this is the end of the game. You know what's nice? Actually, I really reached the leave ending. Okay. What was I gonna say? Do you like lore? Love lore. Love it. Pubertine. They leave the fog or they here forever? I don't know. No idea. Do you like the game? Loved the game. Loved it. I'm very excited to get some answers to questions. There's a lot of Slavic people on this. Best horror game of all time, Silent Hill 2 in general. I do want to go through all these games like the original ones eventually. That would be fun. Oh, the company is Polish. That makes a lot of sense with all the Slavic names. Veronica Bidnorsk. Red Sarge costume. Yes, I got the leave ending. Chat hallucinating bingo wins. Oh my god, should we put that as a square? My cousin's girl works in this company. Nice. Hope you get to play 1 and 3 someday. I would love to. And we, oh, by the way, we vote on what games I'm going to play next in Discord. So if you're over 18, please join the Discord. We're gonna be voting. Maybe I'll put the vote up like right now, and then while we're watching a lore video together, people will get to vote. Should I just use the same games as the last vote? Because we had like everything included, basically. So I'm gonna switch out Silent Hill 2, the option for Silent Hill 2, I'm gonna switch that out for Silent Hill or Resident Evil OG game title. Second vote. And I guess oh no wait, I could always put a, I probably have to put randomizer on here too, right? Yeah. Okay, hold on. What color didn't I use? The fire heart. Or the gift heart will do. Okay. The vote's going up right now. So then while we do our lore video, I'll be able to direct people to go and vote. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue. I would also love to play another Metal Gear. Black, silver. Everything. Zelda randomizer. Different title. Okay. Okay, so here's the options for the next game vote. Alright? You have to be in the Discord and able to vote. You have to be 18 or older to be in the Discord. If you'd like to join, go to the link in my bio. Okay? You're gonna join Discord, and then you'll have to read the rules and click a button that say, yep, I read the rules, and then you have to go to the introduction page. You'll only have access to these 2 channels, right? So before you can get to the actual vote, you join Discord, you say, yep, you have access to the rules channel and the intro channel. You really can't mess it up. Most people don't even need direction, okay? Go to the rules, thumbs it up. And then you go to intro and you say, hi, my name's Ginger. I'm 32 years old. Send. I just need to verify that you're over 18. You could put more in your introduction, but once you do that, you will automatically have access to everything. Did this game make you motion sick? No. Number of times tried to open locked doors. 558 number of times checked the map. 741. Yo! Are those good numbers? Did I do good? Did I win? That's so friggin' funny. Did they tell you about the map and the number of times tried to Open locked doors. Okay. Ooh, look at all those enemies. Look at that. Favorite weapon, steel pipe. I love this. I love this shit. My windows, number of windows destroyed, 378. Hell yeah. Number of healing items used, 114. Hell yeah. Times died, 20. Hell yeah. Number of dodges performed, 1,417. These are great numbers. These are fantastic numbers. That's a low number of deaths. Is it actually? I do a good job. Number of fleshlights smashed. I only killed the one. I just ignored all the other ones. Did it take the edge off? All of those glasses destroyed really did take the edge off. And you know, I did not like when it looked like we could break glass and we couldn't. Like, sometimes there was like a safety notice or a fire hose that was behind glass, and for whatever reason, we couldn't break it, and that's really annoying. About the vote, thank you for using symbols I could clearly see the difference in. I said something last time in general chat and I wanted to appreciate you. Aw, thank you! Not as low as that one guy who played on easy. Oh my god, remember that guy? Like, bro, it's not that hard. Was that this game or the last game? Was that Metal Gear? He played on the easiest setting. Played on the easiest setting and was like, bro, it's not even that hard. I never died once. Like, okay, brother. Okay, dude. It was this game. Number of wigs, 0. You've now gained access to New Game Plus. Aw, look. Look. Okay. So, let's find a lore video. And I got the leave ending. Silent Hill 2. Lore explained. Leave ending. The full story of Silent Hill 2 explained. 50 minutes long. Do you guys want to watch a long one, or do you want to start with the short one and then watch a long one? What do we think? Start short and work up to long, but we only have 90 minutes. Okay. Alright, Silent Hill 2. We have every monster and their backstory. So most of them are very, very long. Oh, the deep meaning of saving in the game? I thought that that was like we were taking photographs. The insane story of Silent Hill 2. Okay, 14 minutes. Let's try this one, right? That one's pretty short. Let me minimize everything. Oh, okay. Display capture. Okay, very nice. Display capture, very nice. Let's start with the short one. Oh, let me tell you whose video this is. Gaming Bolt, 1.33 million subscribers. Full credit to Gaming Bolt. Follow them if you like this.
In our restless dreams, we've been seeing the return of Silent Hill for as long as we can cast our memories back. And after what's felt like an eternity of waiting, the legendary survival horror franchise is finally coming back. And what's more, it's coming back with what's looking like an increasingly promising remake of the series' best installment to date, Silent Hill 2. For many, this will obviously be their first time experiencing the game and its story, in which case, our advice is to obviously for you to turn back and enjoy your first playthrough, knowing as little as you can going in. At the same time, however, many returning and veteran fans will also be coming back to re-experience Silent Hill 2 in enhanced and expanded form. And for that group, a big part of the experience is going to be analyzing the remake's story and storytelling and judging how well Bloober Team's attempts hold up when compared to the seminal original. To that end, with the horror title set to launch not too long from now, here we're going to refresh our memories and go over the full story of Silent Hill 2 from the beginning to the end. Silent Hill 2 begins with protagonist James Sutherland finding himself in the titular town of Silent Hill, Maine, a place that he's very familiar with as a town that he and his wife Mary used to consider their special place after she passed away to a terminal illness 3 years ago. Somehow, however, Mary has managed to find her way back into James's life. Not too long ago, he received a letter from his supposedly dead wife telling him to meet him in their special place. His first instinct was, of course, to assume that the letter was someone's twisted idea of a prank. But from the fact that the handwriting on the letter matched Mary's exactly, to how it mentioned his promise to her that he would bring her back to the town of Silent Hill one day, and how he never did, were certainly signs that pointed to the impossible possibility that maybe the letter was written and sent by Mary herself. At the very least, it wasn't something James could not investigate. And so he finds himself in Silent Hill, and as the game begins, James too begins his search of Mary. Early on, however, he encounters someone else, an anxious young woman by the name of Angela Orozco, who is looking for her mother in the town, but also seems awfully certain that the town is dangerous, and that there's something going on that doesn't meet the eye. Hell-bent on getting to the bottom of the letter from Mary, James disregards Angela's warnings and heads out into the town. Though it's not long before he realizes that things certainly do seem to have gone spectacularly wrong in Silent Hill, which is a far cry from the town that he remembers. On top of being enveloped in a thick, oppressive fog, the town, as it turns out, has not only been left utterly abandoned and in a state of disarray, but is also crawling with horrific monstrosities that almost defy description, like they've been plucked straight out of someone's deepest nightmares. With the utmost of care, James navigates the terrifying town, with his destination being Rosewater Park, a place where he's hoping to find Mary. Getting there requires him to cut through apartment buildings, and as he navigates their cramped interiors, he has several more interesting encounters as things get increasingly unsettling. First, he runs into a little girl named Laura. His first meeting with her is an incredibly brief one, however, to the extent that he doesn't even have the time to learn her name. His next encounter is with Eddie, a young man who is deeply self-conscious about his physical appearance and has been severely bullied his entire life, something that has brought with it its own behavioral problems as well. When James first meets Eddie, he finds him vomiting in a toilet thanks to a corpse found in a nearby refrigerator. Eventually, James parts way with him as well, for the time being at least, before crossing paths once again with Angela. Things begin taking a really dark turn at this point in the game, with James finding Angela standing in front of a mirror with a knife in her hand, seemingly on the verge of taking her own life. He's able to persuade her to hand him the knife, but afterwards, she flees in panic nonetheless, off to search for her mother once again. Meanwhile, as he explores the apartments, James also has a run-in with a nightmarish creature known as Pyramid Head, a humanoid monstrosity with a giant pyramid-shaped object covering its head. The creature, whatever it is clearly far, far from friendly, but James is able to safely make his way around it. James is ultimately able to leave the apartments, following which he runs into Laura yet again. and this time he's actually able to converse with the little girl, though it's not a particularly pleasant conversation with him. Impossibly enough, Laura seems to know Mary, and after angrily accusing James of never having truly loved her, she quickly runs off again. Confusion mounting, James continues on his way to Rosewater Park, and things don't get much clearer once he arrives. Here he meets Maria, a woman who looks like the spitting image of his deceased wife, with the only difference being her much more self-assured personality as compared to Mary. And interestingly enough, she also seems to know things about James and his life with Mary that no one other than the two of them should know. Regardless, with the town being as dangerous as it is, Maria asks to accompany James, who agrees. He meanwhile also decides on his next destination now that the park has turned out to be a dead end where his search for his wife is concerned. Now he's headed to Lakeview Hotel where he and Mary once stayed. On the way to the hotel, however, James and Maria cross paths with Eddie once again, and also see Laura once again. However, they only see her briefly because she quickly runs off into the town's fog before long. Worried about her safety, Maria asks James to chase after her, to which he agrees, and not long afterward, their search for Laura leads them to the game's next major location in Brookhaven Hospital, which they see Laura enter before following
What
her
happened to the
inside.
script club?
Things only go from bad to worse in the hospital, however. James does have another encounter with Laura, and it proves to be another perplexing one, with Laura claiming that she's known Mary for the past year, and James losing his cool over
I feel
her
like
claims
this isn't
since his
explaining
wife
any
has,
of
of
the
course, been
symbolism,
dead
it's
for
just
3 years at
explaining
this
what
point.
happens.
Laura doesn't offer much explanation, however, and then she runs off in search for some mysterious letter that she
Should I
claims
pick a
was
different
written by
one?
Mary. Not long afterward, James and Maria are ambushed by the monstrosity known as Pyramid
it's a
Head,
recap.
and much to James's shock,
It's not
they
explaining the symbolism or anything. Silent. Yeah. Oh, look! Every character in the game has some truth that they're trying to accept or confront.
Otherworld is actually a place defined by truth. It shows these characters who they really are.
So it's
through
not real.
elaborate illusion.
Alright.
The primary theme of Silent Hill 2's story is truth. Every single character in the game has some truth they are either refusing to accept or running away from. Despite how twisted and warped and bizarre it might appear, Silent Hill's other
I would say that that does count as it being a physical representation of the sins that they did in life that they have to confront. I feel like that's the same thing as truth. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. And it's also not real. So we were right. Good job, everyone.
The primary theme of Silent Hill 2's story is truth. Every single character in the game has some
So they had
truth
to
they are
confront
either
what they've done in
refusing to
life.
accept or running away from.
Period.
Despite how
Oh,
twisted
period. Because I also said he was running away from Pyramid Head. Remember, we wrote down the first night. He's running away from all those monsters. He doesn't want to confront them, whatever they are. He was physically closing them off with gates, with doors, with a closet. All right, cool.
and warped and bizarre it might appear.
It's not about being right. It's about... It's exciting that I understood what was going on, I guess. Right?
Silent Hill's
make sense?
Otherworld is actually a place defined by truth. It shows these characters who they really are. Through elaborate illusion, it forces them to confront reality. I am going
Hey!
to focus my analysis on 3 characters: James, Angela, and Eddie.
So, I was right about the purgatory. I don't think it's actually purgatory. But remember I was saying these 3 different people, it's not necessarily like James is connected to these people. I think these 3 people happen to be here at the same time confronting their things separately. So like his dad was there, that was part of his thing. Maria's dad was there, that was part of his her thing. Like, okay. We were right about that. Why is Laura there? I think she could have been in James's. I thought my thing with Laura was either she was maybe a child that they miscarried, him and Mary, or Maria as a child, or the child that was inside of Maria when he killed Maria. I'm convinced he killed Maria. I don't know if that's true or not, but now it's seeming like it. Okay, let's see.
Each of these characters is actually denying two truths.
Denial!
One big obvious truth, and then a subtler, uglier, more sinister truth lying underneath. It is this second truth that ultimately destroys them, because in the...
So for James, it would be Maria and then Mary. Remember? Oh my God, I think. Because remember when I said he opened up that box? He opened up the empty box, and I was like, that must represent him not wanting to confront that he killed Maria. And then the bigger thing that happened was he killed Mary.
The world of Silent Hill 2, truth is not healing, not nourishing. Sometimes fans treat Silent Hill 2 as if it is some big therapy session, as if the town is just trying to help these characters overcome their denial and become better people. If anything, it is the exact opposite. James, Angela, and Eddie are all crushed by the truth. They are tortured by
It's
it.
their
As we see
purgatory!
very intimately in James' storyline, the truth is a hellscape to him. It is a strange and cruel nightmare full of hideous monsters from which he cannot escape. Okay, so let's talk more about James. In the very first
Oh, we could speed this up, right? Playback speed. 1.5. Let's see what that does.
shot of the game, we see him gazing into a bathroom mirror, into his own shadowy reflection. In the visual language of film, just about any time you see a character looking into a mirror this way, and so you see two versions of the same character on screen at the same time, this doubling effect is meant to communicate that this character has another self, often a darker self. There is more to him than meets the eye. At the start of the game, James is presented as a quiet and thoughtful character. He is wounded and full of sorrow. He lost his wife to an unnamed disease 3 years ago, and has never recovered from that loss. He is defined more than anything by his love for her, by how much he is willing to do for her, how much terror and pain and suffering he is willing to endure over the course of this story just for the slim chance that she might somehow, impossibly, be waiting for him somewhere in this town. He is on a journey down into unfathomable darkness. Most sane people would have given up and turned around and run away very early into this story. For James to keep going forward despite all the terrible things that happened to him, there must be something really profound fueling his determination. And the source of that determination can only be his love for his late wife Mary, which is apparently enough to drive him to do almost anything. Except maybe not, but we'll discuss that more later. In his interactions with other characters, James tends to be soft-spoken, polite, kind, and moral. He wants to help Angela, wants to deter her from self-harm. He tries to persuade Eddie to flee to safety. He wants to keep Laura and Maria safe too. He seems like a good person. But every now and then we see glimpses of his other self, the darkness within.
I kept saying that. Remember in the beginning? Remember within like the first half an hour of this game, I was like, we keep seeing little glimpses that this guy is not a good person.
In him, like when he angrily accuses Laura of being a liar. And of course, towards the end of the game, that darkness is put on full display when it is revealed that he murdered his own wife. She did not die of her disease. She died by suffocation, as her own husband brutally smothered her face with a pillow. There was a monster lurking inside the seemingly soft-spoken good guy all along. But that is only the big obvious truth. That is not the truth that destroys him. There is something even worse, even more terrible yet to be revealed. James is not only in denial that he was the one who killed his wife, he is also in denial over when his wife's death occurred. He believes she died 3 years ago, when in reality, he murdered her days ago at most. It happened very recently. But why? Why this denial of the timeline? What happened during those 3 years that he does not want to remember?
Maria.
Well, after defeating Pyramid Head, the avatar of his guilt and shame and desire for punishment, and while he
Pyramid Head represents judgment, guilt, the representation of all the wrongdoing he has done. Period. So I did understand. I'm very happy.
approaches the final confrontation with Maria, who is the avatar of his inability to let go of his wife after her death. We hear an echo of an interaction between James and Mary, and this interaction shows us what he is truly running from. We are going to listen to this echo together now, and as you listen, ask yourself, what is being revealed here? And what makes this an even more terrible revelation than the fact that he killed his own wife? Okay, here it is.
What do you want, James? Flowers? I don't want any damn flowers.
I kept saying she's a battered woman. She's a battered woman. I don't know if that's what he's saying, but we'll see.
Just go home.
I think
Marie.
he was abusive the whole time.
Look at me. I'm disgusting. Between the disease and the drugs, I look like a monster. Well, what are you looking at?
I will give you your flowers for that one.
Get the
for
hell
sure.
out of here. Leave me alone already. I'm no use to anyone. I'll be dead soon anyway. It'd be easier if they just killed me. But I guess the hospital's making a nice profit off of me. Why are you still here? I told you to go. Are you deaf? Don't come back. James.
We literally just saw this.
I mean what I said. Tell me I'm not gonna die.
And remember when we first heard this, I was like, this is just like textbook, like battered woman, right? It's like, she told Laura, like, yeah, he's a bad guy, but like, I love him. And like, here, she tries to push him away. And then she's like, no, come back. I need you. Like, it's very typical of an abused woman.
Help me.
In this echo, we are witnessing the disintegration of James and Mary's relationship. For most of the story, Mary does not get a lot of character development. Because she is already dead at the start, she does not appear much on screen, only in little brief flashbacks, where she is portrayed as a vaguely loving and tender wife. She is less of a character and more of an idealized archetype, something for James to pursue, to long for. But in this echo, she suddenly bursts out onto the stage as a very complex and human character. She expresses a wide range of complicated and contradictory emotions, confronted by her own mortality, by the fact that nothing would stop the disease, that she was going to die. She suffered from a kind of emotional collapse. She swung from hope to hopelessness, from denial to depression to anger. She became filled with rage. She lashed out at the people closest to her. She made them feel the same misery that she felt. And then afterwards, she was overcome by sadness.
I feel like even my James's face didn't look like this. Why does that look like a totally different James than mine? Like, I know the hair, but doesn't the face look different to
By
you?
a need for human connection and comfort, by a need to be with the very person she had just pushed away. This is what James is really hiding from, the fact that his relationship with her had collapsed, that because he could not handle her emotional distress, he had essentially abandoned her in the hospital, all alone with her pain and sickness. As Laura says, eventually James stopped visiting her at all, because he could not face her rage or her misery. He was too weak. In their final interaction in the other world, James at first tries to claim that her murder was altruistic, that he was simply ending her suffering for her sake, but then he corrects himself. The truth was, he did it for himself. He did it because he had grown to hate her, hate what she had done to him, the miserable person she had turned him into,
So
the way her
fucked up.
sickness had taken
I hate
over
this
his life.
guy.
He hated her for making him hate her. He wanted it to all be over. The reason why he cuts all 3 of those years out of his memory is because it was during those 3 years that his love for Mary was truly tested, and he failed. His love was not strong enough.
Let's see if him and Maria had an affair.
He was not
And he
strong
got her
enough.
pregnant.
Her sickness, her rage, transformed him first into a coward and then into a killer. He wants to forget all of that and only remember the time when they were in love, before it all went wrong. It was not the truth of what he had done that he could not face, it was the truth of who he was, who he had become. There is an ending where James leaves the town with Laura, apparently healed by his experience in Silent Hill,
Hey,
where
that's
he
me.
is somehow able to not only move past his wife's murder, but also what that murder revealed about him and who he truly is. But there are more endings where he is not in
I'm not looking.
comparison. But Joel from The Last of Us always reminded me of James. Okay, let me explain. These are not just the main characters of their respective stories, but the player characters. Because we are in direct control of them, I think we naturally
That's such an insult. By the way, it took me 2 seconds to process that. Like, my brain couldn't compute. How dare you compare James Sunderland to Joel Miller? Are you insane? Don't you dare!
develop an intimacy with them. These characters are us to some extent. They are our avatars in this
No,
fictional
sorry.
world. They're
No, sorry. No, sorry. No, sorry, no. I'm not like James. Hello?
success or failure is our success or failure. And perhaps even more than that, because we spend so much time with them, we witness their humanity. We see them at their best. When they're fighting to do the right thing, we see their suffering and their pain, and how hard they fight to overcome each challenge. We become deeply invested in their journeys. And so when we finally see them commit these terrible, awful, perhaps even unforgivable crimes, it can lead to a really fascinating emotional experience for the audience. How do we react when these characters, who we have invested so much time and feeling into, when they do things that we ourselves would never choose to do, that we cannot condone or justify? You can see similar audience reactions to both characters.
Are there people who actually like James? Are there people who, well, there was a James apologist in here a couple days ago. I didn't think they were serious though. There's no way. There's no way. How do you sympathize for James? I do not understand that. That can't be true.
Sometimes people will finish the games and say, oh, Joel or James is a monster, a criminal, a murderer, a
Hey!
terrible, evil person, and I don't like him just one bit.
Hey,
It's almost
that's
as if they
me!
have been betrayed by that character. At the other end of the perspective, you have people saying things like, oh, I love James or Joel. I feel so close to him. I wish he was my dad or my husband. Everything he did was justified. Of course, there is a middle road here where we can recognize that these characters are written to be complicated and contradictory, to be both generous and selfish, to be both empathetic and monstrous, which makes them feel far more real than a character who is only...
The thing with James is we were seeing things through James colored glasses. I was right about that. Think about all the... That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Every single monster was female and highly sexualized. Like, how... I don't understand. How can we say that this is... I have to imagine that the James apologists are men. I'm so sorry. Does anyone know any women who are like, yeah, James is... I like him. Like, did we play the same game? Did you see how he views women?
evil or only good. I guess I don't have a real point here, I just find the comparison interesting. Anyway, let's move on to the second character from Silent Hill 2 that we are going to discuss, Angela. In many ways, Angela is clearly intended to serve as a foil to James. She is on a very similar quest to his own. She has come to this strange town in search of someone close to her, someone she cares very deeply for. In her case, she is searching for her mother. Their two journeys parallel each other. She explores her own nightmare world, her own personal psychological hellscape. Just like James, there are two truths to be revealed in her background, a big obvious one, and then a much uglier and more sinister truth underneath. She is slowly ground down by her time in Silent Hill, and by the end has seemingly given up all hope. Her ultimate fate demonstrates one possible end to his own story. But let's start over from the beginning. We first meet Angela in the graveyard near the beginning of the game. With this setting, the writers are immediately making a connection between her character and death, mortality, and melancholy. Her behavior feels distinctly off in this first scene, like there's something not quite right here. She is very young and completely alone. She seems a bit confused. She is looking for multiple family members, but does not appear to have any clue where any of them might be. She is anxious and nervous and suspicious, and she offers this vague warning about the town. You shouldn't go there, there's something wrong, maybe dangerous. The next time we see her is in the apartment building, and notice how the writers are reusing this doubling imagery with the mirror. Once again, through the visual language of the scene, they are telling us there is something else to this girl. She is more than she appears to be. In this scene, she is portrayed to be depressed and clearly experiencing some suicidal ideation. She is emotionally erratic, switching dramatically between melancholy and accusatory, from panicked and defensive to pleading and desperate. She is all over the emotional map. She has some serious psychological wounds. James takes away her knife, so at least for now, she cannot act on any thoughts of self-harm she might have. The remake added a new scene with her in the park, but I'm gonna skip right past it to the next scene, which takes place down in the labyrinth. This is one of the most disturbing scenes in the entire Silent Hill franchise, and has only become more so with the changes made in the remake. This is the abstract daddy boss fight. This monster is shaped like two human figures lying on a mattress. One figure is larger than...
It wasn't a door. It was a mattress. It wasn't a door. It was a mattress. Okay, so I got the symbolism of that right, but I thought it was a door. I thought it symbolized him breaking down her door. I didn't understand the two bodies fused together because the smaller body seemed to be on top of the larger body. So, like, I did understand it, but, like, no, I wanted you to figure that one out so bad. Yeah. I thought it was a door and it was him. Because remember when we were in the prison right before this and we were in that spiked room and the door was being broken down. That's what I thought that was connected to. I thought that was her father breaking the door down. Yeah, that was messed up. Anyone who has ever had any sort of, like, essay in their life, that was rough. That was rough.
And the other, and the larger one is lying on top of the smaller, in a position that is clearly meant to appear sexual.
See, I didn't realize that. I thought the smaller one looked on top. We looked at that. I stood there and looked at that corpse for a while, and I'm like, but why is the smaller one, like, on top? Maybe it's because they didn't have legs. I couldn't tell. The one on top looked smaller to me. I hate that that's a mattress. I really thought it was a door. Oh, God.
In the remake, this monster chases our character through a nightmare version of Angela's childhood home, seemingly unstoppable, where the only safe place is in a little closet with a stuffed animal, the sort of place a child might hide. It is one of the most genuinely terrifying and unsettling sequences I have ever seen in a horror video game. It is masterclass work. This is the reveal of the big obvious truth in Angela's storyline. Her father emotionally...
See, doesn't that look like a smaller one on top of the bigger one? Even the skull is smaller. I don't know. Maybe it's because they don't have legs. I don't know.
physically and sexually abused her, and in the end, she killed him to save herself. But believe it or not, there is an even worse truth yet to be revealed here. Her storyline is about as dark gets. Following this boss fight, Angela, in a rage, accuses James of pursuing her, of having ulterior motives for helping her, and of being unfaithful to his wife, all of which he somewhat weakly attempts to deny. And then she leaves.
Did we just get confirmation that he cheated? I hope so. So if you're just coming in, I had been saying the whole game, I think James met Maria at the strip club. We saw the tan line. So he was already, you know, not with Mary anymore. It was probably during the 3 years. I think he got her pregnant, and then he killed her.
Saying that she still needs to find her mother. In her desire to find her, there's a suggestion that even though her father was a monster, maybe she had a good relationship with the other parent. Maybe her mother was her safe haven, her protector, someone who loved and cared about her, you know, the way a parent is supposed to. However, in her final scene, something else is revealed, that subtler, uglier truth, the one that finally destroys her. Just like last time, we are going to watch this scene together, and once again ask yourself, what is being revealed here, and why is it even worse than what we've already been shown? Okay, here it is.
Mama? Mama, I was looking for you. You're...
Because she also killed her mom. I mean, to be fair, a lot of times when this stuff happens, the mother knows and like doesn't do anything. That happens often. I'm wondering if she also actually physically burnt down her childhood home or not. Not that arson is worse than murder, but yeah. Her mom, yeah, because she says it's just you left and then I can move on. Like, she also killed her mom.
the only one left. Maybe then I can finally rest. Mama. What's wrong? Wait. You're not my mama. It's you.
I'm sorry, Angela. I think you were right. What we're looking for is not here. Not anymore.
Okay, we just saw this like 10 minutes ago.
I deserve what happened.
No, Angela, that is not true.
Because that's what her
Don't
mom was
hit
saying,
me.
yeah.
James. Give me back the knife.
Should be light like Suge Knight.
Saving it for yourself.
In this scene, it is revealed that Angela's mother, that person she has been so desperately searching for the entire game, the one we thought might be the good parent, the one who really cared for and loved her daughter, was actually just as horrid and hideous as her father. Angela did not have any safe haven. She did not have anyone to protect her. She has spent all this time searching for someone who does not want her. And when she finally accepts this truth, it destroys her. She has nothing left to cling to. Just like with James, the town of Silent Hill has forced her to confront reality, and that reality might as well be hell. For this one scene, we see Silent Hill from her perspective, a place permanently burning, a place of fire and pain, flames that can never be put out, damage that can never be repaired. She has come to believe that no one will ever love her, care for her, or heal all of her pain. How could they if even her mother did not? James' silence in the face of her question only confirms it for her. That is when she asks for the knife back. She has made a decision. Her time in Silent Hill has caused her to finally lose all hope. In this moment, she chooses self-destruction. And listen to how calm and cold her voice is when she asks for the knife, how the emotion has drained from her voice, as if she is empty
His
and
stupid
hollow.
way.
This mirrors a potential end for James' own story, in which he drives his car into the lake. There is a note you can find in the hospital which discusses a patient. This patient suffers from some form of hallucinations or delusions. He has crossed over to somewhere else, probably Silent Hill's other world. However, suffer is not really the correct word, because his delusions are more pleasant than reality. He is happy there. The doctor writing the note questions whether it is really the right thing to force the patient out of that happy fake world and into harsh, unhappy reality. We could ask the same question about Angela. Is she really better off knowing the truth? Or was she better off when she believed a lie? When she believed her mother still loved her, still wanted her? When that belief still gave her some form of hope to cling to? Of course, the story of Silent Hill 2 offers no objective answer to that question. It is left to the audience to ponder. We still have one character left to discuss, Eddie. Eddie is another foil to James. Whereas Angela reflects his misery and his depression, Eddie reflects his violence, his resentment, those uglier aspects of his personality. Unlike the other two, Eddie is not searching for anyone. Instead, he is running away, looking for somewhere to hide. In the same way that Silent Hill creates Maria, a living, breathing, sentient person, a fulfillment of James' desire to reunite with his dead wife, a reflection of his own psyche, it also creates something similar for Eddie. Instead of a woman, it is a man, and instead of a lover, he is very much a hater. Eddie is pursued throughout the nightmare by this man. This is an incarnation of one of Eddie's
Victory just came in and said, oh, it sounds like him too. It might be the same voice actor. Victory just came in and said, I just realized this kid, why he looks so familiar. Remember who I said this kid looks like? Like on the first time we met him, I'm like, that looks like Michael's kid from GTA 5. And it sounds like him too. I do. Check if it's the same voice actor.
Please, one of his tormentors out in the real world. In Silent Hill, this man follows him deeper and deeper into the town's other world, mocking him, insulting him, humiliating him relentlessly, imitating the real-life persecution that Eddie feels. And eventually, Eddie cannot take it anymore. He kills this man. In the same way that the town fulfills James' wish to reunite with his late wife in a twisted way via Maria, it fulfills Eddie's wish to take revenge on his tormentor.
So Maria was just to fulfill a fantasy. Okay, well at least, hey, hold on. You know what we did interpret correctly. No human woman behaves the way that Maria does with a man who is a stranger, like James. The only logical explanation, this is when we first met Maria. So like, I don't know, an hour into the game. The only logical explanation is that we are in James's delusional mind, and that is just how he perceives women. Pretty close. It's true that was just the manifestation of his desire to be with his wife, I guess.
To have power over him via this man. But then the bully just comes back. Just like it does with Maria, Silent Hill keeps creating new versions of this guy, no matter how many are killed, and their mockery of Eddie becomes more twisted and more relentless until he finally breaks. But let's rewind back to the start of Eddie's story. In his very first scene, James finds Eddie puking his guts out in this disgusting, crummy bathroom. Eddie is meant to...
Maria was all the things that Mary wasn't. So that explains the sonogram heartbeat, because Mary couldn't give him children and Maria could. Right?
Look pathetic and weak here. This is a humiliating position to be in, and that is furthered by his weight too. Eddie is fat. He is very fat. I mean, I'm fat bread, and I'm not even as fat as this guy. A lot of times in fiction, overweight characters are portrayed to be ridiculous and silly, unattractive, not to be taken seriously. I'm not saying that is a fair portrayal, but it is a common portrayal in fiction. He immediately begins making excuses for himself, pleading innocence before he even gets accused of anything. He doesn't even seem to know what he's claiming to be innocent of at first. He just says, I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. Recognizing how helpless this kid is, James tells him to depart the town, to run away to safety, and then leaves the kid behind in this bathroom, even after Eddie asks James to come with him. In a very subtle way, James is, unintentionally, treating Eddie the same way his bullies do, not taking him seriously, talking down to him. This creates a budding resentment which will eventually blossom into deadly violence. In his next appearance, we find Eddie speaking with Laura. She actually gives him some decent, if naive, advice. He reveals to her that the police are after him, and she tells him that, instead of running away, he should just go back wherever he came from and apologize. Of course, an apology will definitely not solve all of his problems, but she is right that his only chance of salvation is to stop running away and face his problems head on. Unfortunately for him, he never heeds her advice. This scene plays out slightly differently in the two different versions of the game. In the remake, it takes place in a movie theater, and Eddie is stuffing his face with a bucket full of sticky strawberry sauce. In the original, it takes place in a bowling alley, and Eddie is eating an inexplicably fresh pizza, which leads to one of my all-time favorite lines in any horror game.
This town is full of monsters. How can you sit there and eat pizza?
She said she was fine by herself.
On the one hand, this scene is hilarious. This is one of the most frightening and bizarre horror games ever made, and here is this dude just casually stuffing his fat face full of pizza while the world around him descends into madness. But on the other hand, I empathize with Eddie so very strongly here. I know this might sound silly, but this really is kind of like just looking at a reflection of myself. This is stress eating. This is a guy who feels terrible about himself, who's having an awful, terrible, very bad day, and so in order to comfort himself, he is eating and eating and eating, because it's the only thing that can make him feel better. This is what depression looks like. This is what giving up looks like. I know because I've done it. And once again, Eddie is being portrayed as silly, ridiculous, pathetic, and basically harmless. He's just a big fat lazy loser doing exactly what big fat lazy losers do. The remake has added an additional line though. James throws an empty pizza box aside and says, "I see you've gotten your appetite back." And then watch Eddie's reaction. The clear resentment, the embarrassment, the anger he feels towards James is growing, becoming uglier, and James does not even realize what he's doing. In his next scene, Eddie's behavior begins to change, becomes far more unsettling. Okay, so James drops down into the prison. This is the point in the game where reality itself begins to break down, to no longer make sense, when the town of Silent Hill begins to feel less like a real town and more like a twisted nightmare. The story is getting darker and darker too. Maria has been killed, James has failed to protect her, failed to reach Laura, failed to find his wife. Things are becoming more and more hopeless. And then here is Eddie, sitting in the darkness alone beside a dead body, holding a revolver and reciting a bizarre monologue about how easy it is to kill someone, about how quickly a life can be destroyed. At this point, Eddie has discovered that he does have an alternative to running. Instead, he can choose violence. He has come to the stunned realization that he can just kill all of the people who torment him. With this realization, his character has begun a sudden and dramatic slide into darkness. However, he has not yet fully embraced this choice. He plays off this monologue like it was just a big joke, like he's the same ridiculous, pathetic fat guy he was before, but we've seen the darkness in him. We will watch his final scene together, and this time, as we watch, I want to ask you a different question. How does Eddie's behavior here mirror James' own choices? In what way are these two characters actually very similar? Okay, here it is.
Couldn't leave well enough alone, huh?
Yeah, couldn't just.
You just had to follow me all the way out here. How many times do I have to kill you?
Eddie? Whoa, Eddie, it's me.
Oh. Hi, James.
Eddie, what are you doing?
Well, what's it look like I'm doing? You fat, disgusting piece of shit, you make me sick. You gonna cry, fat ass? You gonna run to your mama? Waste of skin, why don't you just kill yourself? Well, maybe he was right. Maybe I am nothing but a fat, disgusting piece of shit. But you know what? It doesn't matter if you're smart, dumb, ugly, pretty. It's all the same once you're dead. And a corpse can't laugh.
Eddie.
What's that? You want to talk down to me some more? Tell me to relax? You're just like the rest of them, James.
No, I don't want.
Shut up! You think I'm stupid. You think I don't see it. But you've been laughing at me all along. Ever since we first met. But you ain't laughing now, are you?
You need help, Eddie.
Don't get all holy on me, James. This town called you too.
Yep.
You and me are the same. We're not like other people, don't you know that?
Murderers.
Well, you're about to find out.
The big obvious truth in Eddie's story is the relentless and vicious bullying he has experienced, and also the way he has internalized that bullying. He speaks about himself with the same language his bullies use. He has begun to believe these things about himself. Maybe I am a fat, disgusting piece of shit. He has given up. He will never try to be anything more than the caricature his bullies make him out to be. Eddie is someone who has been portrayed as weak and powerless throughout this story, but now he has finally found a way to make himself feel powerful. He has discovered nihilism. He has discovered violence. If he can kill his bullies, then he is the one with all the power. This choice reflects James' own decision to murder his wife. He took control of his own miserable situation in the exact same way, by simply killing the problem. In this scene, Eddie becomes a reflection of James' worst self. For a little while, Eddie is in total control of this scene. Notice the way he interrupts all of James' lines, the way he dominates the conversation, but it does not last. Eventually, James pushes back, reasserts control. That is what the punch to the face is, and once again, Eddie is left in an embarrassing position, lying on his back on the ground, overpowered by another man. But this time, he refuses to accept it. He desperately fights to cling to this newfound power. The subtler second truth in Eddie's story is the way his bullying has twisted his personality, turned him paranoid, depressed, and full of hate. Again, this clearly mirrors the exact same transformation James underwent during those 3 years of his wife's illness, from loving husband into murderous monster. This boss battle, like so many other boss battles I have discussed in other games on this channel, is really a confrontation between the protagonist and the worst version of himself. Usually, when a protagonist defeats a dark reflection like this, it is meant to be a demonstration of some sort of character growth, of strength, but not this time. James feels terrible for having killed another human being, for having once again failed. This is one of James' darkest moments. On this channel,
did
I
not
have
feel bad
often
for him
discussed
at
the genre of cosmic horror, and the unique way that cosmic horror stories tend to twist the search for the truth. In most stories, the search for the truth is depicted
I
as
love that
noble,
guy.
honorable, and a morally good one. Scientists and investigators and detectives doing what is right, because the truth is right. But in cosmic horror, the search for the truth often leads characters to discover hideous, terrible things about the nature of reality, or the nature of the universe, or the nature of humanity's place in that universe. These revelations break their minds, cause them to go insane. Now, I do not think Silent Hill 2 can be labeled as cosmic horror, but its depiction of the theme of truth is very similar. However, instead of it being big, grand, huge truths about the nature of the universe that destroy these characters, it is small, intimate truths. James being unable to deal with the way his relationship with his wife collapsed. Angela being unable to accept that her own mother did not love or protect her. These small...
Does James's stubble grow throughout the game? Because in the beginning, he's very clean shaven, and I'm like, why did my James look so different? But now in these, he has some stubble, and I'm like, yeah, that looks a lot more like my James. Has there been any interest in Ginger playing mouthwashing user? I loved mouthwashing. We played it, and it's on YouTube, my playthrough. So I loved that game. Loved that game.
Intimate truths end up being just as destructive as the big huge ones. Angela chooses self-destruction, Eddie chooses violence, and depending on the ending, James chooses to drive his car into the lake. In this way, the story of Silent Hill 2 demonstrates the fraught nature of the truth, how it is not the monsters who will destroy us, but ourselves. Those inconvenient truths about ourselves that we would rather just ignore. Those inner demons whose voices we refuse to acknowledge.
Silent Hill is the kind of franchise that kickstarted a whole genre. Its poignant depiction of a man's grief and broken psyche was undoubtedly a landmark for video games. But you know it was those gruesome monsters that kept us coming back. Even its sequel, Silent Hill 2, was pretty similar in this regard, and managed to retain the twisted qualities that made the original so iconic. These games have always had a pretty unique approach to creating these ungodly creatures, often drawing inspiration from the psychological problems plaguing the game's main character, James Sunderland. Thus, in this marvelous video, we'll explore every single monster that appears in Silent Hill 2, and try to understand what makes them so nightmarish. But before we move ahead, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button. It might be a small click for you, but to us, it means an awful lot. With that out of the way, let's dive right in. Lying Figure. Though these are literally the first creatures our broken protagonist encounters in the town of Silent Hill, they're still enough for a lifetime of nightmares. These creatures, designed by Masahiro Ito, were inspired by the BDSM fashion of the time, and to be honest,
I was right about it being a gimp suit. I was kidding. I mean, not really. People were like, I think it's supposed to be a body bag, and I'm like, it looks like a gimp suit to me. Oh my god, gimp suit is real.
Did you explain that?
Do you know what a gimp suit is? A gimp suit, did you see American Horror Story Season 1?
I don't remember it.
With Tate, the blonde kid, and he puts on the full leather suit that is it completely covers you and your head and your mouth and your eyes.
Yeah.
That's a gimp suit.
Okay.
So when I first met these creatures, I'm like, I'm not really scared of a guy in a gimp suit. Like, that's not very scary to me. But immediately people were like, I think it's supposed to be body bags, and I'm like, well, no, because the feet wouldn't be separate if it was a body bag. To me, it looked like a gimp suit, and apparently it is.
they're some of the most terrifying things we've ever laid eyes on. Like most of the monsters in the series, these creatures are the manifestations of James Sutherland's internal struggle and grief, a direct consequence of his wife's untimely demise. These creatures were born from James' feeling of confinement and grief following Mary's death. Due to this, these nightmarish entities bear an uncanny resemblance to Mary on her deathbed, and even her corpse. I guess the name Lying Figure kind of begins to make sense the more you stare at this limbless creature. The creature's movements also represent a patient's agony when confined to a bed, which is exactly what Mary was reduced to after being diagnosed with her terminal illness. It's interesting to note that even though James had no conscious memory of how Mary died when he came into contact with the first Lying Figure, the horrifying images are still embedded deep within his psyche. In the game, these creatures usually dart toward the player and spit.
So this did exist in his psyche! I was right.
Yellow liquid that can stun
Period.
James' character. These are not usually seen as much of a threat and can be found in locations like East South Vale, Woodside Apartments, and Nightmare Hotel in the Silent Hill 2 remake. Red Pyramid Thing, also known as the Pyramid Head. This hulking monstrosity is probably the most recognizable monster from the series. Even a single encounter with this ungodly entity will probably scar you for weeks, and perhaps that's what makes him so damn iconic. Due to this, the monster has appeared in numerous sequels and spin-offs, including the Silent Hill 2 remake. The creators of the game, Hiroyuki Owaku and Masahiro Ito, claim that they came up with these characters as they required a chaser to complete the plot. And what better way to accomplish this than with a faceless man with a metal pyramid instead of a face? In Silent Hill 2, it's revealed that the Pyramid Head is yet another manifestation of James' guilt regarding his wife's death.
Period. Period. Got it. We got it. where's all my things, the characters I wrote down and what they represent. I'm excited to hear about the legs. Symbolism and characters. Pyramid Head, judgment, guilt, amalgamation of all of his sins, confrontation of what he's done. Maria representing infidelity. Mannequins, obviously sexualization. And then the legs, just legs of a gene and legs of a gene, just, again, he's a sexist piece of shit.
It was he who actually smothered Mary to relieve her from her agony. This caused him to fall into a state of utter despair and regret. Eventually, he received a letter from the deceased Mary, leading him to the ominous little town of Silent Hill. In his search for Mary, he would first encounter the Pyramid Head inside the Woodside Apartments, where he hid in the closet as the creature abused and slaughtered 2 other monsters. From the get-go, it's evident that the Pyramid Head is one of the most powerful antagonists in the series, something that a newbie can't even hope to defeat. After all, the Pyramid Head is actually part of James' subconscious, which desires punishment for his actions. As Silent Hill was once a town of executioners,
I said he's probably an executioner and he represents judgment. He judges his sins. That's why he couldn't confront him in the closet. He wasn't ready to confront his sins. I did understand Pyramid Head. Period. Very happy that I understood.
This is the form that the entity ends up taking, choosing the red rusted pyramid as its helmet, just like the Executioner's cult once did. It also reflects James' own personality, with a masculine body and the same build as our hero. Under the helmet is a fleshy tongue that slides out whenever the monster is attacking our hero, or the other monsters. Ito also wanted Pyramid Head's attacks to seem sexual, as he wanted to tap into the core emotions that drive human beings. The creature is completely invulnerable to the player's attacks, and it's best to run away if you end up encountering it. In the remake, the red pyramid thing can be found in places like the Blue Creek Apartments, Brookhaven Hospital, Nightmare Hospital, and Nightmare Hotel. Mannequin. A headless, armless entity that appears like a disfigured mannequin. The creature lies in wait until the player approaches them. We first encounter these monsters in room 205 of the Woodside Apartments, where they activate the moment James interacts with them. You're likely to find the creature standing completely still, hidden in plain sight. However, the moment you turn on a flashlight, they launch ahead to attack. Even without a flashlight, these creatures will come to life when James steps within a 3-foot radius. What makes these creatures terrifying is not their strength, but the numerous ways in which they can catch you off guard during some of the most crucial moments in the game. Like other monsters, these creatures are a manifestation of our protagonist's tortured subconscious, and represent his natural urges and inclinations. These entities arise from
They represent his natural urges and inclinations, aka James sexualizing women. All right, we understood the mannequins.
Sunderland's psyche to erase his illusions and force him back into reality. As these creatures are largely influenced by Sunderland's sexuality, many of their movements can appear sexual. They can appear in numerous locations like Woodside Apartments, Blue Creek Apartments, West South Vale, Brookhaven Hospital,
Give me
etc.
my flowers.
Bubblehead Nurse. These horrifying creatures appear inside the Brookhaven Hospital. After James arrives there in search of his late wife Mary, from a distance, they can even appear to be normal nurses.
See, I just thought that these were just sexualizations. I thought this was just because he's sexist and he's sexualizing these nurses, and they're there to help. Nurses are there to help, and he's sexualizing them because he's a misogynist.
Closer glance at these nightmarish entities reveals a dark truth. These female humanoids are roughly the same height as James' wife Mary, and are dressed in low-cut Brookhaven nurse uniforms. Their heads are wrapped in bloody vinyl masks that cover the entirety of their face. These liquid trap masks give the nurses' heads a swollen appearance, which resembles Mary's swollen head during the later stages of her illness. The bottom of the mask is also oddly reminiscent of a baby's face, which symbolizes the couple's desire for a child. These entities also seem to be suffocating due to their masks, as they're constantly twitching in a pretty terrifying way. A dirtier brown variant of the nurses can be seen in the other world, where their clothes are even more tattered and their masks have metal spikes protruding through. These nurses can usually be found in the Brookhaven Hospital, the Nightmare Hospital, and Dark South Vale. Mandarin. These strange creatures are first encountered when James enters a passageway connecting the 2 ends of Saul Street.
Those are the fleshlight things, right? Yeah. See, those are the fleshlights. Again, it's just a pair of legs, and then everything's fleshlights. Again, I just said, simply, these things are because he sexualizes women.
Warped female humanoids possess grotesquely large arms that penetrate through a straitjacket-like garment, constraining their upper body. Their legs are mostly useless and dangle below them. These creatures can be found hanging below the mesh grating floor, supported only by the tip of their arms. It was later revealed in the Book of Lost Memories that these mandarins symbolized overwhelming feelings caused by James' incomprehensible anguish and helplessness. Due to this, they're doomed to hang on a metal grating for eternity, and should they fall, only an unknowable abyss awaits below. This represents James' psyche, which is also hanging by just a proverbial thread. Should he fail to maintain his sanity, only death awaits. These creatures also possess black tentacles jutting from their lips, the literal pangs of his consciousness reminding him of Mary's murder. In the Silent Hill 2 remake, these creatures can be found in Dark South Vale, Labyrinth, and Nightmare Hotel. Abstract Daddy. Unlike most creatures in the game, these monsters are not just the manifestation of James' hidden guilt, but also of the sexual trauma suffered by another character, Angela Orozco. As a child, Angela suffered horrific sexual abuse at the hands of her father and brother, which led to her timid personality as an adult. Eventually, Angela stabbed her father and brother in an attempt to run away from home, but these extreme measures would eventually fill her heart with guilt and regret. Just like James, on the verge of insanity and suicide, she finds herself drawn to Silent Hill, where the worst parts of her psyche begin manifesting as literal monsters. The creatures resemble 2 intertwined figures in the middle of an intimate act. The lower sphere head of the character represents Angela and the excruciating pain she went through as a child. However, from James' perspective, the creature's appearance is reminiscent of his memories of Mary when she was bedridden. Although the game chooses to leave Angela's version of the Abstract Daddy to the player's imagination, we see that it might be way more disturbing than what James ends up seeing. In the Silent Hill 2 remake, the character appears as the boss in the Labyrinth at the Lakeview Hotel. Eddie. This guy will probably function as the boss of the Silent Hill 2 remake, as he also had a boss fight in the original game. This oddly sluggish individual is another visitor of Silent Hill who just ends up staying too long. He is deeply terrified of getting hurt, and that makes him all the more dangerous. Creeper. After encountering so many monstrosities along the way, this insectoid monster might just start appearing normal, a manifestation of Alessa Gillespie's fear of insects. These creatures appear in both Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2. Creepers are usually depicted as unusually large, cockroach-like insects, with 3 pairs of legs and 2 long antennae. In Silent Hill 2, these creatures gain a stringer green tinge to their body, while the antenna-like tails are absent. It was later revealed that creepers derive their power from the town itself, and might just be a product of the lingering residue left over from the first game. Marvelous verdict.
bugs.
Silent Hill has undoubtedly given us some of the scariest moments in all of video game history. The fact that each of these monsters is a true manifestation of our protagonist's darkest feelings probably makes them way more real than we need them to be, but maybe that's what makes defeating them so much fun. But what do you think? Which of these monsters are you most looking forward to in the remake? Please let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all of our Marvelous content. That's it for this Marvelous video, but don't worry, because we'll see you pretty soon in the next one. Goodbye.
Alright. That one is flowers. I don't think Maria was infidelity. No, she was the representation of like what he wanted in Mary. We did dive into the history of fleshlights yesterday, and they weren't popular by the time. So this video talk about the fleshlights. I don't know. See, there's a lot longer videos. This one's only 9 minutes long. I'll probably listen to like, you know, there's like 2-hour videos that I'll probably listen to like podcast style. But sometimes 2 games early. None of them have really talked about what Silent Hill is to Laura. Hold on, we'll do Silent Hill 2 Laura explained.
Out of all the
You didn't love Mary anyway.
What? Silent? What impresses me most about Silent Hill 2... What impresses me most about Silent Hill 2's remake is the amount of little details packed into its every corner that are very easy to miss. Here is a list of those I've spotted so far from throughout the game, so switch off now if you're trying to avoid spoilers, and do let me know of any you found not mentioned here too. During Silent Hill 2's very first scene, you can see a light outline on James's left hand, an indication that he has taken off his wedding ring fairly recently. Later, when visiting the Heaven's Night strip club with Maria, a ring can be seen in the Lost and Found box. Whether it's James's or not is up for debate, but it could well be. The reason there's a chance the ring is James's is because of this next particularly frightening detail. This one's difficult to spot without the use of one of the unlockable filters, but if you look at the back seat of James's car with one of them turned on, you'll see what we can only assume is the body of James's wife Mary lying covered across the back seat. James believes she died 3 years ago, but it's much more likely he killed her recently and is traumatized, hence the possibility of the ring in the strip club being his. He refuses a drink from Maria and noticeably fidgets when one is placed in front of him, implying he has issues with alcohol.
We should probably get going.
Fine. Ready when you are.
So, it could be that he spent time in Heaven's Night before or after murdering Mary, losing or discarding his ring while there. Similarly to the 2001 edition of Silent Hill, you find a flashlight in room 202 of the Woodside Apartments attached to a mannequin dressed in Mary's clothes. What's even creepier though is that later, after gaining access to room 201, you also come across this bedroom and hear an audible gasp.
Ooh, didn't hear that.
As seen during the ending, that room matches this one where Mary is bedridden, and the gasp is the sound she makes as James commits his unspeakable act.
Look at that!
Other gasps can be heard throughout the game, such as here when arriving at the park. My working theory is that they occur whenever James visits a location of significance to he and Mary, although I've not been able to confirm that just yet. I've mostly tried to steer clear of details already present in the original Silent Hill 2, but I've always loved this next one, so I've chosen to include it regardless. Also in the apartment, an article referencing the death of Silent Hill 4 antagonist Walter Sullivan can be found, and much later, you also stumble upon his grave. After meeting Maria for the first time in the park, you have the opportunity to explore more of the town with her in tow. If you save your game at the Jack's Inn Motel, she'll get confused about why you're standing motionless in front of a car.
James? Is everything alright? Hey, you okay? It's like you froze for a second.
Yeah, I
didn't notice that.
It's fine.
In one of the nearby rooms, she also finds the costume she wore for the duration of the original game.
Hey, you think I'd look good in this one?
Oh, and then her clothes are in the closet. Remember he found it? Ginger guessed that randomly. Guessed what randomly? Did you see anything about the save screen yet? No, but I thought that it was Polaroids. And that's why we were looking into it. But then at the end, he was looking away. Probably because accountability. I don't know. But no, I'm going to watch like my own, like really long ones, like 2 hours long. But yeah, the save things I think I think, were Polaroids, that we were, like, moments in time. Oh, the back of the car. I thought you didn't see it and just guessed it. I didn't see it. No, I didn't see it. I just guessed it. Someone asked me, did you look in the back of his car? I said no. They said, what's in there? And I said, Mary's body. That was just a throwaway. I had already known that he killed Mary, though.
Endorsement, but hey, I'll take it.
It just seemed logical, like...
I think I prefer Maria's more recent look, honestly. Also at Jack's Inn, there's a lovely Silent Hill 3 reference. In room 106, James gets the heebie-jeebies.
Cozy.
Oh yeah, I never knew why.
There's something wrong with it. I think we should leave.
Room 106 is the same one Heather and Douglas stay in when they visit Silent Hill during the third game, and you can even spot Douglas's hat lying on one of the chairs. Be sure to return later when you pass by after the town takes a dark turn too, as the halo of the sun, the mark of the town's evil order, can then also be seen on a wall. Shortly after visiting the motel, you come across a house which...
I drew a lot of those symbols. I guess they connect to the other games. I didn't know that, but I did notice the symbols and we drew them down.
Makes Maria very uncomfortable.
This place just gives me the creeps. I'm not sure why.
You ever been inside?
I'm not sure. It does feel familiar somehow. Like a bad memory. It's nothing, really.
The reason she's so uneasy is because it's the Baldwin Mansion, a major part of the Maria-focused side story born from a wish. Hopefully any future DLC will give us the chance to have a look inside. It's heavily implied during Silent Hill 2 that each character trapped in the town sees it differently. For James, it's often misty and full of monsters, and sometimes a lot worse. For Angela, everything is seemingly on fire, which she all but confirms towards Silent Hill 2's end.
It's hot as hell in here.
You see it too? For me, it's always like this.
How it manifests for Eddie isn't stated outright, but it's made pretty obvious. For one thing, your final battle with him takes place in a freezer room, and right before entering it, you can see the bodies of people he's killed, covered in frost. But there's also an earlier hint that it's much easier to miss. Pay attention to his breath here in the cinema.
It's probably just Laura messing around.
It's cold.
The little girl? Laura, is that her name?
That's what she said.
I'm gonna go look for her.
I just assumed it was cold.
Based on that and the other details mentioned, it's a safe bet that Eddie sees Silent Hill as some kind of horrifying ice world. Again, in the cinema, it's worth keeping an eye on the screen. It's a very quick flicker, so I've slowed it down here, but you can see what looks like footage of James as he's about to suffocate Mary, his subconscious continuing to taunt him. There are two interesting details in the hospital's reception area. First, all the nurses' faces in one of the pictures are blurred, foreshadowing you meeting the nightmare versions of them who also have blurred faces very soon after. Second, there's also a poster with bullet points highlighting several symptoms to watch out for, the fourth of which reads feelings of worthlessness or guilt. Except, if you click the button to make the text clearer, James' subconscious has erased the word guilt entirely. You'll likely already know about this one given how important regularly checking your maps are, but just in case, some of them become grimier after areas transition to their otherworld variants. For example, here's the hospital's third floor map as it appears initially, and here's what it looks like after the building takes a sinister turn. Speaking of sinister, in the prison in the original, there are invisible prisoners who repeat the word ritual. Apologies, I don't have any footage of it myself, but I'm sure it's easily found on YouTube. In the remake, in the prison's dungeon area, you can hear the same, although this time it comes out of nowhere.
We heard that, and I actually drew the whole, we drew the whole thing, but didn't know, I still don't know what that means. Ritual. Yeah.
There are also strange symbols on the wall, the meaning of which I'm unsure. By the time you near the end of the game, especially after working through the terrifying prison and labyrinth back to back, you'll probably be feeling pretty exhausted. So too is James. Judging by the dark circles under his eyes, he is visibly exhausted, having spent hours upon hours wandering Silent Hill. Compared to how he looks, say, at the beginning of the game, the difference is obvious. He still looks tired, but not at all to the same degree. Even his fingernails get dirtier. Early on they look cleanish, whereas towards the game's finale, that's not at all true. Maybe stop sticking your hand into every single strange hole you come across, eh, James? Another detail present in the original that is so good it deserves to be mentioned nonetheless is Mary's letter. It remains in your inventory throughout the game, but by the time you arrive at the Lakeview Hotel, it has become little more than a blank sheet of paper, and not long after, it disappears from your inventory entirely. It was either created by the town itself to lure James to Silent Hill, or it never existed at all. Appropriately, this video's last detail is close to Silent Hill 2's conclusion. When saving your game, James is usually looking down, staring almost directly into the camera, but if you use the final save point before your climactic encounter with Maria, you might notice James is no longer doing so, and is instead nervously looking around. And with that, we reach the end of my list. As mentioned earlier, I'm sure there are tons of other little details just waiting to be spotted, so do please be sure to share any others you might have come across. In the future, I'll perhaps create an updated version with even more included. Last but not least, thanks for watching the video.
Alright, sweet. I'll do my own independent research as well. Please do vote in the Discord. If you're over 18, join the Discord to vote on the next game that we start tomorrow. I'll maybe collect a little more votes, and then if it's still close, I'll narrow it down to 2 or 3 titles for everyone to vote. So we can pick a winner, because there's a couple titles that are close. So So I'll tag you guys in that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. John, did you send 1,000 bits tonight? Oh my God, thank you, John. John and James, thank you so much for the bits. And Mars, thank you guys so much. Shiv, thank you so much for the word of the day tonight. And thank you everyone on TikTok who donated. Rachel and AJ and Leaf and Callie and Ryan and Roberto. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for the stream. Thank you, Bri. I love that you take notes during gameplay. It's like, I feel bad because that's why I read out loud as I'm writing it, because I do feel bad that I'm like leaving you guys to hang for a second. But it's really nice to go back and be like, look, we talked about this. We noticed, look, hold on. Does Pyramid Head represent the judgment of James's sins, his atrocities? Is that why he can't confront him? Where was the one with the mirror that we just... Oh, look, right there. The Otherworld multi-save. James is looking away for the first and only time. He can't look at us because maybe he's becoming self-aware. Monsters are also crumbling. Maybe his view of things is changing. Good stream, Cheese. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for hanging. I'm going to go take a nap. I'm so tired. I love you guys so much. Join the Discord. Good night.